Hi everybody, my name is Ken Wad. Well, on today's video, I'm just going to give you a quick overview about Etica.io. The idea of this video is to really just go into the main idea and not into the details. And so let's get right into it because there are a lot of things to cover, and we are about to launch Etica. So, well, let's do the necessary. Okay, so basically the idea of Etica.io is to give the possibility to interact with the Etica blockchain in a decentralized manner. So it is exactly the same thing as this. If you're familiar with Ethereum, you must know Remix. So basically Remix, what it is an application, a web application that enables you to interact with the blockchain. So for instance, what here I've deployed a smart contract. And on Remix, it truly gives you the possibility to call any function on the smart contract. So this is the Etica smart contract. And on Remix, I have the possibility to call any function, and the smart contract is going to respond. For instance, if I want to have this variable, I click, right here it is. I can see this variable as well. I can see this variable, I can see this variable. So this is the idea of Remix, is to give you the possibility to interact with the blockchain this way. So there is no database, anything behind. When you connect to Remix, you have to put, your information about your node, so you can run your own node and still be connected to this application. So there is no backend database. And the main idea of Etica.io is to have the same kind of system to enable anybody to interact with the Etica blockchain. So on Etica.io, but here I have an account, as you can see. So I have used Remix to deploy a test smart contract. First thing I want to explain is that this is a test net blockchain. This is like the last tests and the last things we will do on this blockchain before we actually launch the last Etica blockchain, on the mainnet. So the reason why I'm making all of this now is because I wanted to take the advantage of the fact that everything is set up in this on this testnet. Like Etica scan is synchronized with this testnet. Everything is synchronized. So I wanted to take this time to show you how actually it works. So before the launch. So everything we do on Etica.io, you can actually do it as well on Remix if you prefer. So for instance, when I will show you some functions and that we can call them on the Etica.io, you can go right here on the Remix and call any function of the smart contract, So these are all the functions of the Etica smart contract. This is with what the Etica smart contract works behind the scenes on the blockchain, at the blockchain level. So the only thing you have to do basically if you want to use Remix is that you have to, once you have a MetaMask installed, okay, then you will have the possibility to choose, a network, an environment, and you can choose injected Web3, and it's going to connect to your MetaMask. And since your MetaMask is possibly connected to your own node, you can interact with the Etica blockchain directly with your own node, So this is the idea of Etica.io. So on Etica.io, this is a testnet again, and I had deployed a smart contract on this one, and right here you can see some proposals, test proposals. But now we're going to deploy a new contract so that you can see even better. So what I've done is that I've deployed a brand new contract on the testnet, and I've updated the values, of about the days and all this to minutes, so that you can actually visualize everything much faster and understand everything much faster. So the contract was deployed, and now we're going to enter a brand new application on Etica.io. So this application, there is absolutely nothing. The contract is brand new. There is nothing. It's just that for the test, as it is put on the smart contract, the test smart contract, I have initialized this address, on my So yes, so this address I've initialized it with, if you see it finishes with 69. I initialized it, with some edge cards for the test, now to show you how it works. So first of all, once you arrive on edge card, the first thing you can actually do if you have edge cards is to stack some edge card. So in order to stack, very simple, you just have to click right here and you can choose an amount, let's say 50 edge cards. Okay, then you click to stack it. Then MetaMask is going to ask you a confirmation, and then you can confirm. Okay, so now the transaction is going to be validated, and then you will see that this is going to actualize. Something that I want to underline very quick, waiting that the transaction finishes, that when you do your first transaction on the Etica blockchain, sometimes you can see that the transaction fees are very high, like 0.001, but after you make the first transactions, it really decreases by a factor of 100, so there is no problem with that. Okay, so the transaction was validated. If I actualize the page, I will make it automatic, but okay, so as you can see right here, the stack was done. So I have now 50 bosoms and this Etica amount of Etica. So yeah, so basically when you mine on the mining pool, you will be able to come on etica.io and do everything we are going to do in this video. So I think it was this page, and it wasn't this page, it was this one. Okay, so now let's actually do some things. So first of all, we can create a disease. So I'm going to create disease malaria. Okay, create disease, and as you can see, creating a disease has a cost. It costs 100 Eticas. So since I have enough Eticas right here, I'm able to create a disease. So I'm going to confirm, and okay, so my transaction is broadcasted, and now I'm waiting for the confirmation. So after this, normally I will see that one disease was created on the network, on the Etica network. So I can go back right here on disease. Yes, right here, there it is. So this is a disease, and with the hash, and if we go into the disease, okay, we see that well, there is nothing. There is no proposals yet. The work has to be done. Is yet to be done, right? So yeah, nothing here. So let's make a proposal, right? Let's pretend that we have made a lot of work, and now we want to make the first proposal. So let's do the necessary. So I'm going to click here, submit proposal. For the disease hash, I have two options. I can either already have the hash of the disease, or I can actually enter the name, the English name, and it is going to automatically, calculate the hash. So then if you put a wrong hash, a wrong name like this one, it will not find the disease on the network. But if actually your disease corresponds to a hash that is on the network, it will find it, and then you will enter the next step to actually submit your proposal. And again, I want to remind you that everything we're doing here is nothing different from going on Remix and doing all of this. There is no backend database, nothing like this. It directly uses the blockchain information. It can connect to your own node, so you will be able to interact with Etica this way. So let's create a first proposal. So I'm going to call this one test proposal 1. Oh no, I'm going to actually take this one, the Genesis proposal. This is a proposal that I had made a few time ago. So let's call it the Genesis proposal. Again, this is not the mainnet yet, but this is just a testnet. Okay, Genesis proposal. Description. I have no description. Okay, this is my description. IPFS. I'm going to actually take the hash of the document. So the way we store information and the information that is inside the proposals is we use what we call the IPFS network. So basically IPFS, it is a decentralized network to host data. So on the Etica blockchain, we have a field that is reserved to push a hash, you know, of information that is supposed to represent the data. So currently we are using the IPFS network as a reference. But if tomorrow IPFS network happens not to work or happens not to be a long-term solution, we will be able, you know, to use this field and actually just change the reference of Etica, you know. But basically everything on the blockchain will not change. You know, I don't know if I'm making myself clear here, but that let's say tomorrow there is a new network for decentralized information. The only thing we will need is to keep doing and push the hashes right here. But when we will try to find this information, instead of going into IPFS, we will change the reference and go into this new network, but the hashes will correspond to this new network. So for currently we are referencing with IPFS, okay, just a precision. So okay, I put the hash of the information, then the free field. It is a field that anybody will be able, you know, to use. I mean, the community will be able to use this field as anybody wants. And then there is a chunk. So basically a chunk is like a subcategory of the disease. It's for excuse me. It's for I have to say I'm tired, so please don't laugh at me, but it's for organizational, yes, that's it, organizational measures, you know. For instance, if you are working on the cancer of cancer disease, you might have some chunk, okay, to actually work into some parcels, and not like okay, I'm sorry, it's like it's much more efficient if you have a possibility to, inside a disease, create subcategories, you know, to divide the work and to work this way. So basically a chunk, it is this. And in order to create a chunk, right here you can see create chunk, you have to pay like 5 Eticas. So the disease is 100, the cost of the disease is 100 Eticas, and the cost of the chunk is 5 Eticas. And every time, you know, you create a disease or a chunk, it is like send into the contract address, and basically nobody can access it anymore. So it's like burnt. So with all of that being said, okay, let's just necessarily create the first proposal. Okay, so I'm going to create a proposal. As we have said, you know, the first transaction is the first time you make something, the first proposal, first thing, every time, you know, it has this huge amount, but then like it really reduces by a factor of 100. Okay, so now the first proposal has been submitted. If I go on the proposal list, it is not here yet, but it will come. Just know the time of the transaction to be broadcasted on the network. If I do that, yeah, it is waiting. So that's, you know, how we can actually first of all create some proposals. I'm waiting for the confirmation here. I hope I will have the time to edit this video. I'm honestly not sure about it, but I will try to do my best for this. Okay, so waiting for the confirmation. Yes, so basically this contract was initialized with a supply of 11 million Eticas, and we have, you know, here all of this data is actually directly from the blockchain. Okay, so I have the confirmation that it was done. So if we do this, okay, so this is what we see. We see the Genesis proposal. We see that the voting time, actually, it's, if I want to vote on this, I have to be extremely quick, you know. Okay. Yeah. So this is why for 1 minute, bro, it's too fast for 1 minute. Okay. Okay, so basically I just, you know, made a vote for this proposal. So yeah, so I just made a first vote of 15 bosoms on this proposal. But the problem is I'm also the one that Alright, so now that the proposal has been voted on, I have the possibility to reveal my vote. So let's take back account, and I'm going to reveal my vote. So in order to reveal the vote, you have to arrive on the proposal within the time frame. So normally it's 1 week. It's 1 week. Okay. So this is more like the kind of timing you will see. Like in Etica it will be days, but for this test, it's like seconds. So I have to act extremely quick. So I'm going to reveal. If I had voted against, I would have to reveal disapproval. But here I'm revealing an approval. Okay, I didn't put a privacy phrase, so I just have to click right here. Okay, so I did not put a privacy phrase. So I just have to click right here. But the problem is I waited too long. Yeah, I waited too long. So unfortunately, as you can see, I was not able to reveal my vote because I waited too long. Because actually I had just 1 minute to reveal the vote, and I came too late, because on the blockchain, the miners, when they mine, there was like a 15 seconds delay. So when you take this into account, when I arrived, it was basically too late. So at this moment, you have no possibility to reveal your vote, and thus all the eticas that you have put into the system, you cannot retrieve them. This is why it is extremely important, to respect the timing and all this. So when you make a vote, then like the proposal is, we can vote on the proposal for 3 weeks, and then from the 4th week we have the possibility to reveal the votes for 1 week. So it is only after 5 weeks that the proposal, is actually done, and that everything is revealed and stated and confirmed and cannot move anymore. So on this proposal, I didn't act quick enough. I didn't reveal my vote. So now, as you can see, it says that the status of the proposal, it is pending, and it is closed to reveals. So at this point, it's like in the real life, we have waited, first of all, the 3 weeks of the voting period. Then we have waited for the 1 week of the revealing period. And then so it's 4 weeks after the first creation of the proposal. After these 4 weeks, we are in this moment where actually now we have the possibility, to actually get the rewards. But because I didn't reveal my vote, I will not be able to do that. So on the real application, on the mainnet, right here you will see like submitted the date, but then right here the vote limit, it will be like 21 days later, not like few seconds later. It will be completely different because it will be on the mainnet. Then we will have the reveal limit as well. It will be 1 week, but 3 weeks from the creation of the proposal. Then there is the period, so the period reward. So basically every week the protocol issues some eticas to reward the researchers. And the way it works is that when you create a proposal, it belongs to a period. So every proposal that are created the same period of 7 days belong to the same period. And basically it is all these proposals that will compete in order to gain as much eticas as possible from the period created eticas for rewarding the research. So this is how it works. Okay, and the calendar here will show you, the dates, because right here it's just one date, so we cannot see, but it will show you exactly the dates of when the proposal is to be revealed and all this. So this was a quick overview about the main page, and here if you click, you directly arrive on the IPFS content. So this was for the proposal. So now let's actually do things in the right order and create a test true proposal. And on this one, you know, let's actually do the necessary to be quick enough. So yeah, excuse me, I was too quick, so I'm going to still propose on malaria, but yeah, I'm going to still propose on. Okay, just before we do that, something I want to show you is that I'm going to actually change the account, because I don't want to vote on the proposal with the same account as the one that creates the proposal. So in order to do that, I'm just going to actually very quick send some Eticas to this account right here. So okay, let's do this very fast. Let's do it extremely fast. So we copy the address, then we're going to import this into MetaMask. Okay, import. Okay, I think it is not the, yes, it is not the right contract, it's this one, I'm sorry. So I'm going to import this. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, it has to be this one. So now I'm going to send some Eticas to this one. I'm going to send, like, I don't know, let us send like 20,000. We're crazy, right? This is a testnet, everything is possible. So yeah, it is on its way. So I'm going to explain what we're going to try to do here. So basically, with the first account, I'm going to create a new proposal, so it will be the proposal. And then with a second account, I'm going to vote on the proposal. And then we're going to reveal the vote of the second account on the time this one, and then we're going to actually take the reward, claim the reward after we have done all of this in the right step and at the right moment. So I think the transaction arrived. So now we're going to switch to this account that now must have some Eticas. So I'll refresh the page, and yes, the Eticas have arrived. So I'm going to stack so that I have enough to vote. Let's say I want to vote with 80 Eticas. So I'm going to stack 80. Okay, I'll confirm. Alright, so now it's waiting for confirmation, and then we will have 80 Eticas on the second account. So now we are going to go back on account 1 in order to make the proposal. So I refresh the page. Every time I change account, I refresh the page. Yeah, let me refresh again. Okay, I think it's a good account. Yeah, it's the first account. So with the first account, we're going to make the proposal. In order to make a proposal, we have to have at least 10 bosoms. Okay, so again, I choose the disease. The hash is automatically calculated right here, as you can see. And since this disease exists, then I will find it on the blockchain. Now, I'm going to call it test 2. The proposal description, I mean, still no description. The IPFS. Okay, I don't have the time now to calculate a new hash, so what I will do is that I will change the last letter. It was Q, I'm going to put a T, and then okay, everything is good. So now I'm going to create a proposal, and now I'm going to confirm. Okay, we're good. So we're waiting for the confirmation of the blockchain, and this time we want to be on time. So I'm already going to change the account. Okay, I have confirmation that the transaction was done. So okay, I change my account. I go here, as you can see, I have like very few minutes to vote. So I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote with like 51 I mean 52 Eticas, and I'm going to send my vote. And now, as you can see, the amount, it's already starting to decrease, as we said. So yeah, I confirm my vote. I'll confirm my vote, and now I'm waiting. So if I want to use a privacy phrase, is so that nobody can actually guess the vote, because if there is nothing variable, some people could potentially try to guess the vote of the people and to guess what the hashes means by just making combinations between the proposal hash, the approve, and all this. So okay, so it was confirmed. Now with the same account, I'm waiting for this to go into the reveal time. So once you have voted, again, this is supposed to last 3 weeks, but here it's lasting like 2 minutes. So but yeah, in real life this is going to last like 3 weeks. So once this is done, we will have the possibility to reveal the vote, and in real life we would have like 1 week to reveal the vote. So at this stage, everybody can go into the proposal and vote for the proposal or against the proposal. And there is what we call the slashing ratio and the protocol's threshold. So basically, the more the protocol threshold is going to say, okay, for this proposal, in order to be accepted, it has to have at least this amount, this ratio of approval to be accepted. Let's say we have a protocol threshold of 65%. It means that in order for your proposal to be accepted, it has to have at least 65% of approval. And on the contrary, if it doesn't have 65%, it is disapproved. So depending on that and the content of the proposal, you can choose to vote for or against a proposal. And then, so this is for 3 weeks. And after this, we enter the revealing stage. That is going to last 1 week. So at this moment, you have waited like several days, several weeks after you vote, and you come back on the platform and you choose, to reveal your vote. And at this moment, you just have to click and confirm. And now it is going to reveal the vote. And once the vote has been revealed, then you can actually wait as long as you want, and you can come back later and claim your rewards on the proposal. And what it's going to do, so now the vote has been done, has been revealed. And if I go on Etica scan right here, by the way, I forgot to show you, but everything we do, actually we see it on Etica scan. The new proposal, the new commitment we've made, the new reveal, the transfers, everything. Actually we can see everything on Etica scan. We have details of everything happening on the blockchain on Etica scan. So let's go back on etica.io. So I just revealed my vote. I don't think it was on this window. This was the last one. Okay, so let me just chart the page. Okay, so now let me show you this. So we have also the question of the stacks and all this, but before we do that, let's finish with the proposal. So okay, so once you have finished to reveal your vote, then you have the possibility to claim the vote. So at this moment, the proposal, you will see the results of the votes, and then depending on the fact if it is beyond the protocol threshold or not beyond the protocol threshold, the proposal is going to be accepted or rejected. And depending on the side you voted, when you will claim your vote, you're going to be either rewarded or you will be punished. The way you are rewarded is that not only you will be able to retrieve everything you have put in the vote. If you remember, when we voted, we put some bosoms. I think it was like 41 or 51 or 52 bosoms that we put on the vote. So when we claim the vote, we have then the possibility to take it back, because if we go here on the stacks, okay, so this is the stack page. On this account, we made a stack. So this is like the second account where we have sent 20,000 Eticas. So on this account, we basically, made a stack of 80 Eticas, if you remember. So this is what we see here. And the stack, normally it is supposed to last 28 days. And the thing is, on this contract, since everything is accelerated, it only lasts a few minutes. So we are supposed to be like 28 days later in the real life. But for the purpose of this example right here, you can see that I can already claim the stack. But as you can see right here, I have 52 Eticas blocked in the voting system, and I have a total of 80 stack of Eticas. So I cannot actually claim it because of the 52 Eticas that are locked into the voting system. And in order to unlock these 52 Eticas, what I have to do is I have to go back on the proposal and claim, the vote. And once you claim the vote, actually the Eticas, actually it's when you claim the vote that your Eticas are going to be relieved, from the voting system. And what here as well? What here? So let's do something like this. If I try to do that, you see this? This is some errors because of the fact that it is locked. So in order to to go beyond that, sometimes let's say you have passed the period of 28 days, but for a reason or another, you cannot retrieve your 52 Eticas. For instance, you did not reveal a vote on time or something like this. You still have the possibility, to take back the difference. To do that, what we do is what we call a snap. So in order to snap, basically, we are going to cut the stack into two pieces. So in order to do that, you can put an amount. Let's say you want to put like 80. Okay, so let's say you want to put like 28. Okay, 28 Eticas. So I'm going to snap this way. So to do that, sometimes it bugs. I don't know why, but okay. I still have to see why it does this, but it is like on the Etica.io part, it's not like on the blockchain part here. Okay, so I'm going to make this operation on Remix so that you can actually see it also works on Remix, and then I'm going to be back here. So, okay, I want to make a snap stack. So the contract is this one. Then we have to find the function. Okay, let me find the function. Yeah, has to be this one. This is the function I was trying to call from Etica. Okay, so the stack ID is 1. The stack amount we said 28, right? We said 28. Okay, let's make the transaction. So as you can see, it is not on the part of the blockchain. The problem was on the Etica.io, and I'm going to fix it. I don't know what was going on here, but I'm going to fix that. Okay, so the transaction was actually done and accepted by the network. If I go on Etica scan, okay, I don't see it yet, but it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. And the type of the transaction will come as well. Normally, it's just right here. I'm really like into the second, and well, let's be patient. Okay, so what here it is, the stack snap is here. Okay, so now let's go back into blockchain level, I'm going to actualize my page. Okay, so here it is. I have one stack here, and I have this here. Oh, I see. Yeah, excuse me. Is that when we are on Remix, what here, the amount, it is not like Etica's, it is the subunit. It is like 1 to the power of 10, 18, you know. So if I want to actually stack 28, let's say I want to stack like 25, all right? What I have to do is I have to add 18 zeros behind. So let's do that. Okay, let me. So 25. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this time it should be 25 Eticas. Alright. Yeah. So why it was rejected is because, as you can see, the ID here is 1. But if we go right here, my first stack, it does not have enough. So I have to put the ID 2, index 2. So let's do that. And put 2, and now you see it's magic. It's basically the basic magic of Etica. Alright, so now the transaction is going to be broadcasted into the blockchain, and then I will see my new stack. We said like this time is 25, so it should have splitted this one into 2 pieces with 1 piece of 25. And the other one is going to be the rest. And right here we can see the 28. We thought it was 28 Eticas, but it wasn't 28 Eticas. It was 28 of this subunit. You know, this craziness. So we are waiting for the proposal to be, for the transaction to be accepted. Now, okay, it has been accepted. I refresh. Okay, what do we see? We see magic. We see absolute magic. So the stack has been split, and we have 25 Eticas here. We have the rest right here. And yes, so I think now you understand how it works. And basically, you should also be able to do it from Etica.io. So I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, I'm going to basically, handle that very, okay. It really doesn't want to work from Etica.io. I'm going to handle that. Okay. I accept this craziness. Okay, now if you want to claim your stack, okay, you can claim the stack only if the amount you want to claim, it is not above what you have blocked in the system, in the voting system. Okay, so for instance, what here if I want to claim this stack, it should not work, because I want to unlock and retrieve. If you retrieve, what it means is that what here you will see the amount of Etica increase from this, because it was in your wallet, but you put this into the voting system, and now you want to retrieve it. So in order to do that, you have to unlock it from the voting system. So if you have like 52 blocked on the voting system, and you only have 80 Eticas stacked in total, it will not work. Okay, so if I try it here, you see, it doesn't work. But for this one, you have 25. And the difference between what is locked into the voting system, which is 52, and what you have available for yourself, like 18, it should work, So let's try, and you see, this is magic, it works. So now I'm just going to confirm the transaction, and let's see what happens. So before we check everything, this is like the amount we had, before we claimed the stack. Okay, so on this page I have made everything automatically upgrade. So as you can see right here, everything has upgraded automatically, and I will make sure it happens on all the pages of Etica.io. But for the moment, it's mostly on this page. So you see, we have a new amount of Eticas, and the stacks as well have been updated. I only have 2 stacks right now. So this is basically how the stacks work. You have this possibility, to snap the stacks, and there is also, another possibility, which is actually to make what we call a stack consolidation. let's say you have like a lot of stacks, like you have 10 or 20 or 30, 50 stacks, right? And basically at one point you want to gather them into one for different reasons, because when you call certain functions of the smart contract, basically if you have too much stacks, it has to make a loop. The limit is at 50, and it can actually create some issues. So if you have to at one point make what we call a stack consolidation, let me show you how it works. So basically the idea of the stack consolidation is that it is going to go through all your stacks, okay, and you're going to say to set a date, So for instance, what here, all your stacks are supposed, and you already reached the date, of 10 April of this date. So let's say you want to consolidate your stack. So what you do is you're going to say, okay, on all the stacks I'm going to put a new end date that has to be superior to the previous dates of the stacks. So you can choose, alright, I'm going to choose, for instance, instead of the 10th, I'm going to say everything is going to end the 12th. So any stack whose date is prior to this one, you're going to update it to this new date. And then what here, the minimum of consolidation, all of this, what you can actually do is that you're going to choose the date, the minimum date of the stack. So you choose how old, you choose the minimum date of the stack like can be consolidated, because let's say you have stacks that are finishing very soon. One thing that you do not want to do is like to consolidate them, because now let's say they finishes tomorrow, which is 11 April, and you consolidate a stack that was supposed to finish tomorrow, and what here you put a very high date like 30, because again on this smart contract we're making tests on minutes, but on the real life, on the real Etica smart contract, everything is in days, in weeks. So basically what here you would say, okay, my stack was supposed to finish 16, I'm going to put like this date was here, so 14 May. So basically something you would have the possibility to take back in few days. If you consolidate it, if you say that this date is okay, then it is going to be this new date. So the possibility of this one is to say, okay, the minimum date on the real life, what here, for instance, I would say the minimum date to take into account is the stacks that are at least, finishing the 20th April. And if a stack is finishing before this, do not consolidate, so basically the function is going to go through the stack, but it's not going to touch it. But if you choose another date, if you choose a minimum date that is before, it is going to touch it. So in order to touch these stacks, for the sake of our example, I'm going to put a very low minimum date that was from yesterday. So let's do that. I'm putting the date, and now I'm going to make the stack consolidation and see what will happen. I confirm. Okay, so see what will happen. What will happen is that basically the stack from 2 is going to become 1, and the date is going to be upgraded. So you have this possibility to either increase your amount of stacks by basically snapping your stacks, or you have also the possibility to decrease your overall amount of stacks by consolidating your stacks. So right now we are waiting for the confirmation on the blockchain. Okay, so what it did is that because we only have 2 stacks, basically what it did is that it only did it on 1. But because I want to show you that it actually works, I'm going to actually take the craziness to make more stacks, so that we can actually understand better what's going on. I truly hope I will have the time to edit the video, but if I do not, please do not leave the video because of this shit. Oh, damn it, now I have to edit the video. Okay, I will find it. Okay, so I made a new stack. I'm going to make another one. Okay, 55 HKs. Okay, so waiting for the confirmation on the blockchain level. Okay, what is going on? We're waiting. Okay, so as you can see, now I have 4 stacks, and I have one finishing 14th May, then 10th April and 10th April. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a stack consolidation. So I'm going to say, for instance, 21st of April for the end date, and let's consolidate anything that is superior to 11. Okay, and you know what, let's say 10. Okay, and now let's consolidate. Okay, and yeah, let's make this. Okay, so function has been called. Now we're waiting for the confirmation. And okay, so now the confirmation was done. So let me actualize the page in time. Alright, so as you can see right here, we have the consolidation right here. Okay, so basically all the stacks consolidated into one with this new date. But what here, we don't have a lot of stacks, so this is why we don't see a lot of consolidation. But basically, if you have much more stacks with this function, you will be able to reduce the overall amount of stacks. And well, that's what I also think is because this amount is very small. It's might be a reason why it wasn't taken into account here. But this is the overall system of the stacks. Now, if we actually want to retrieve the 52 HKs we have blocked into the voting system, at this point what we will have to do is that we will have to go right here on the proposals, then right here, and then we will have to claim the vote. Okay, so in order to unlock the HKs, so basically right here I've changed the account. Okay. Alright, so in order to deblock these 52 HKs, what we have to do actually is to go on the proposals and then to claim the reward, to claim the vote. So as we said, depending on the results, we're going to be either rewarded or we're going to be slashed. Okay, excuse me, I'm going to retake this one. Okay, so in order to deblock these 52 HKs, what we have to do is to claim the vote. So in order to do that, we're going to go back on the proposal, and here we have to claim the vote. So as we have said, we have two possibilities. Depending on the outcome of the vote, we're going to be either rewarded or we're going to be slashed or punished, penalized. So what here, we have been the only one voting, and as we can see, the vote was a result positive approval with a 100% approval. So basically, no matter the protocol threshold at this moment, the proposal was accepted because it was beyond the protocol threshold. Indeed, the protocol threshold maximum is 99%. So alright, so the proposal was accepted. So if we claim here, what we should see is that we should have a reward, and how 52 HKs should be deblocked. So on one part, what we're going to see that how 52 HKs are going to be completely deblocked. It will be possible for us to retrieve them again, and also we'll have a percentage of the weekly reward and on this case, it's about 4,000 Eticas every week. So what here we should have 100% of this, and we actually take only like 40% because there is a reward for the people that vote and a reward for the people that make the proposals. So like 60% of the reward is going to the people that make the proposals and 40% for the people that vote about, So what should happen here is that when we claim, we should have 100% of the 40% of the 4,000 Eticas. So let's do that. But here our balance is this one. Let's see what happens after we have claimed the proposal. Okay, let me claim it. Okay, now let's be patient, and also let's see what's going on Etica scan. Okay, Etica scan. Okay, we can see transactions. So 16 minutes ago there was a stack consolidation. Okay, so when there are new transactions, sometimes they appear as transfer, but it's the time for Etica scan to actually identify the nature of the transaction, and then it's going to rectify. So sometimes just be aware of this. So now, as you can see, the reward was claimed, and it took 40% of the 4,000 Etica weekly reward currently on the Etica protocol. So this is what we see right here. The value of this transaction is to reward the voters, and in this case we were the only one voting, so basically we were the only one taking the reward. So this is an overview about Etica.io. Again, I don't want to go too much into the details and to overload you with information. So I think we're going to stop here for today, and well, that's basically how it works. Then if you want to see the proposals of a certain address, for instance, you can go here. If I take this address, you can check your own address, and on this one I have no proposal, but if I connect with the other one, the other account, if I do that, okay, I see all the proposals, So basically, I think this is just the beginning of a new ecosystem in order to make open source medical research without intellectual property. So I hope you understand how things are going, the direction we are trying to put things for Etica. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions or anything like this. Actually, right now I'm kind of extremely excited about the Etica launch, but as well I'm kind of tired of all this code and all this, so I cannot wait to have this released in the nature. And the fact that, again, once it will be released, I will not have any control. Basically, if you want to create a web application on top of the Etica protocol, you're free to do that. All it takes is some HTML and all this, and this is what you have, a web application on top of Etica. And I believe that this is potentially just the first of a plenty of applications on top of Etica, and potentially one day we will see specialized applications, web applications on specific diseases, specific group of diseases and all this. And imagine once we have like thousands or tens of thousands people, maybe someday millions of people gathering and working together for open source medical research without intellectual property. So yeah, I think Etica can truly help our civilization with some issues regarding medical research. And right now the only thing I'm waiting for is to see what happens when intelligent people have this new tool into their hands, and basically what we can do with blockchain that is extremely useful for society. Right now it's like cryptocurrency, there's absolutely nothing, all these NFTs in DeFi. I'm sorry, you know, this is my own point of view. I think this is absolutely useless, and we have to do something much better than this. And I think that with blockchain, the use case for open source research is extremely huge. And yeah, I truly believe that what we have with Etica is potentially a new revolution for blockchain. So be ready to mine. Things are going to get started very soon for Etica. We start very small, you know, but if one day Etica is a trillion asset or something like this, you know, I mean, I'm prepared for this, you know. It's like anything can happen, you know, but you know, some people said, you know, like, the true tragedy of life is not that the children is afraid of the darkness, but is that the adult is afraid of light. And I can guarantee you one thing, is that how big Etica is going to become, I don't know, but if it is going to become extremely huge, and if anybody that is part of the beginning of this project, you know, as a is going to be rewarded extremely, I mean, I would be ready for this personally. You know, I've been working on this project for a lot of time, so I think something extremely important is that at the beginning of the project we have the right mentality, and ambition has to be one of our qualities. And this is why I'm not here to hide or anything like this, you know. What I'm saying is that if we don't have ambition, well, we will not be able to tackle the disease the right way, because what is waiting for us right now is to start making this research and to show to the world that we can actually find cures and treatments for a lot of this rare disease in the first place. And what I want is basically to shock the world with a new wave of discoveries from this new protocol, this new blockchain. And yeah, if we can actually do that, if we can become these versions of ourselves and tackle these diseases together, you know, I believe that our future is bright, and it is extremely, how can I say it, extremely promising. So again, I cannot wait, you know, to release Etica in the nature. Right now I'm just going to put in place the last setup for the mining pool, so that the first initial supply of Etica is as evenly and fairly distributed as possible. And well, then the adventure will begin. So thank you for being here at the very beginning of this adventure. Thank you for, you know, believing in the project, for being interested at least. And well, the future will tell us what is going on for Etica. But yes, for me, you know, it's mainly Monero and Etica right now. For Monero, you know, it's like this cryptocurrency, you know, this is, I mean, the freedom it brings to the people and the necessity of this cryptocurrency is absolute. This is why I cannot wait to be back on my YouTube channel for Monero. I cannot wait to do that, you know. I truly believe, you know, that this community is a golden community. And now the goal, you know, with Etica is to basically create a new cryptocurrency with new goals, you know, but same values. I would say that, you know, this new battle of intellectual property, I think in the coming decades is going to be increasingly important. And if we can have this new framework of innovation to help people find cures and disease, yeah, I think this is a bright destiny that I truly want to share with as many people as possible. So again, I cannot wait now. I'm going to set up the mining pool. I hope everybody is ready, and let's do this necessary.